What's going on, everybody? It's TekMuNNee. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. It's Saturday morning, July 25th, approximately 10:30 Eastern. We're in the money, rambling and gambling sports empire. Boy, if you followed our work through the week, we gave out 4-0 official plays we were in with cash, showing bet slips, and then we went another 7-1 on the recommended plays on this type of specific video format we made, I believe, on Monday or Tuesday night. So we're going to go through a similar type of thing. A lot of data, a lot of content today. I haven't been able to go through it all because if I were to do that, it would probably take me another 2 hours, and that'll be putting us right up into the first pitch. And I can't have people who want to look at some of this data waiting 20, 30 minutes to make up their slate. That's ridiculous. So what we need to do is do this together. So right off the bat, I'm going to tell you what I'm already in, what I'm about to do. And usually when I bet something, I'll let y'all know right away what I did. I held off on doing that this one time only because I wanted to get it in, sleep on it, because I'll tell you what, I've been on a high adrenaline, so I want to make sure I was thinking clearly. So I put the bet on there, sleep on it, didn't have any anxiety waking up, didn't think of anything. Man, I'm actually still loving it. So the bet that I'm doing, there's going to be 2 official plays we're going to do. One's going to be straight Reds. I got it at minus 210 last night. I'm going to show, well, it was around 4 or 5 in the morning. It's right there. I'm showing it on the screen. And Nova and Castillo must start. That's where my homework's at. We'll get into that. I'm in for 3 units. If you remember what I said in the other video and some of my tweets, I don't care. When I do my homework, I like baseball. I'm not going to be scared of a money line. If I'm scared of a money line, that means I probably shouldn't be on the game anyway. That's just plain out simple. No need to get cute about that. That's my style. That's what I'm doing. Now, we're going to give, again, 2 official plays. That's official play 1. For some of you folks, remember, I was covering a small account idea, and we even shared a parlay that hit yesterday. Indians, Astros. I had put down a $20 bet. I believe it paid out 39 approximately, so about 18, 19 profit. So what if you took 10 of that, and you're that small account person, and you just want to take that profit and try to make it work again? Saturday, action, hanging out the family, you're at the barbecue. Then I got a perfect idea. You take the Reds, and I'm going to share this. You take the Reds, and you take the Yankees, all right? And you want to make sure the Yankees turn action on Paxton. We're going in with Paxton. Paxton's good. Paxton's he's a good pitcher. That's all I'll say right now, all right? Action on Paxton. And on the Reds, yes, action on Nova and Castillo. I should have mentioned that. Action on Nova and Castillo. Action on Paxton. I can't change this. This thing's telling me I'm not New Jersey. I assure you I am. This app always does that, but I still love it. So, remember, Nova, Castillo, action. Paxton, action. I don't care if Strasburg don't pitch. That'll be better for us. We'll get into all that. So, look, you're getting about plus 150. Put down $10. Probably make you about another 15 in profit. It's perfect. So we're covering you again in the first few minutes. I'm just gonna give you the plays. So there's a lot of people that don't have time to listen. I'm giving you the Reds straight. That's me. I'm already in. And then I'm gonna go in and just, if the Reds win, obviously the parlay's active. I'm just gonna go in and bet the Yankees straight at that point. Now there's gonna be a problem there. I'm only have about 2 hours deep into the Reds game, and I hate betting when I know if there's an if situation. So if Reds win, I bet Yankees. So I'll be honest with you. I think if the Reds even were to somehow lose, I'll probably still do the Yankees. And, I'll just make that official. I'll probably do the Reds straight, then the Yankees straight. No matter what, I'm looking to do maybe 2 units at the most on the Yankees. I'll go in 270, okay? So let's go into why I'm doing the Reds, and then we'll go through the games, and I'll briefly cover the Yankees, so if you want to hear that in the beginning portion and dip out, that's great. And then remember, when we did the video earlier in the week, we went 7-1 just building the slip together on here. So that's beautiful. We'll try to do something like that. Let's go over what we have. Again, a lot of analytics, not enough time for me to put it all together, so we're going to do just what we can on the fly. And again, also, even with that said, I just still have a much of a basic and overview look so far because it's earlier in the year. Here's my thing off the bat. So the Reds, dude, you have Luis Castillo. When he's on, he's on. He's supposed to be one of the best change-up throwers in the game in history even. So he has actually not been one of those guys that's lazy over the break. If you read, even on MLB.com, right on the page, boom, he's been practicing at Xavier. Xavier's in Cincinnati. He's been throwing through the corona. He's been staying in shape. He's been taking the mound. So I think he's coming in. Luis Castillo knows what he's coming into. He's coming into a Reds team that wants to go 60-0. And you're laughing. I know you can't do that, but that's what they want to do. You saw it yesterday. They're taking advantage of being in that park and that offense and that situation. And boy, that was fun. And we're looking for something like that again. I'll get into that. But Luis Castillo, first of all, the best opposing strikeout team, Detroit. Highest, when you're looking at the whole slate today, 27.1% opposing strikeout rate. So that's the highest on the slate, okay? Followed by at San Diego with Arizona. We'll get into that later. All right. Now, the other situation, so I don't need to get into how good Luis Castillo is. His strikeout rate is one of the best tonight, 28.9% when you break it down versus everyone else. His ground ball rate, 55.2. So with this, if he's on tonight, he's going to single-handedly get us a low-scoring game. Remember, he has to be on. This whole wager right now, most of y'all are probably doing it because of the Reds' offense. I'm going at it because Luis Castillo's on the mound. That's why I went straight. And then I know I got the bats to back me up. And then I'm going to get into the second tidbit of that. So remember, he might just give up ground balls and get you outs. Okay? Now, he does walk people. But remember, if he's walking a few... Now, this is overall stats. I don't know how the team look. We're going to do this live, or how the Detroit's doing on walks. But he's got a little... he can walk some people. But he's striking some out and ground balls. So maybe he'll develop... Maybe he'll have a shaky game, and we'll be developing double plays or something. And again, I'm just thinking out loud, where my brain's at. Anything can happen. But I'm going for Luis Castillo. We're gonna have to do that one straight. That's just my style, and I know a lot of you don't do that. So any other decision is gonna have to be on your own. All right. So Luis Castillo, and then the bats. Why the bats? Well, when I look at the pitcher with the worst strikeout rate going on for the matchups, and everyone on the slate tonight, the worst is actually Alex Cobb versus Boston. We're going to get into that game. So real hint, if you're just watching early, you're going to dip out. Boston bats, stack them up if you want, right? What I mean by that is they should be on fire. I'll get into the metrics of that. You can even just catch the basic metrics. I'm going to talk about MLB.com. Click on the game, and you'll see just a very basic matchup, and that's what I'll show you later. But the player matchups for the Orioles, for Boston against Cobb is amazing. And you already know the history against Cobb they have is amazing too. Amazing batting average and all that. But let's get back to the game here. Nova's the second worst strikeout player. And now I'm not sharing some of this info because it's sloppy on my end. And we'll get to a point where I'll be able to share some of that, all right? But just remember, I'm going to keep an eye on this parlay here. That's what we're looking at. But now, let's just talk about the game. We'll pull it up this way. So if you are watching, you know what we're looking at. We're looking at this game right here. Or sorry, we're talking about our game. So let me just back up, get a little excited. So again, we're talking about the Reds game. Now, Ivan Nova, Detroit pitcher, second worst tonight in strikeouts. He just can't strike people out. Terrible. Terrible Sierra. Terrible ERA, 4.72. I don't like this. I think it's going to be rare that Nova shows up to be a gem. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. It's opening weekend now. Anything can happen. He's a veteran. I'm going to put my money on it, especially with Castillo on the mound and with what we know the Reds can do. And he gives up a decent amount of hard contact. I wanted to see more. I wanted to see in the high 40s, But his ground ball, he gives up a lot of ground balls. So it all depends, I think the bats will be beating Nova. And when I look at the pricing on fantasy, you should keep an eye on that because those guys are smart. They're running algorithms, analytics for many years now, DraftKings and those dudes. When they lay a price on someone, it's pretty ballpark. Nova, so the bottom of the barrel, you're getting Brady Singer. I don't think he's ever showed up ever for KC, but then you're getting Alex Cobb and then Nova. They're the bottom three. So it just tells you they're not expecting much from Nova. So you go with the Reds here, okay? Plain and simple. All right? Now, I'm going to cover why we're doing the Yankees, and then we're going to get into each game, so we'll talk about the parlay. Same thing as the other night. You can't be fearing taking the Yankees at almost a pick-em price just because you're going to be going against one of the best pitchers in the world again. I don't care. I don't believe in that logic because you're then undervaluing who the Yankees actually are in this generation, and that's shame on you. And I'm not a Yankees fan straight up at all. I'm just giving you real talk. This is like psychology, okay? And if you can't see some of that stuff, you just have to skip the game. I'm not saying it's a lock. I'm just saying there's two teams. There's a 50% chance to win, technically. I know now we got this, all these new rules and everything, so it can make outcomes tricky, but you have a 50% outcome. You have one of the best offenses in the league. And you watch what happened the other night against one of the best pitchers in the league, Strasburg. And I knew that was going to happen. I didn't ever mention this on Twitter, but one of my best friends from college days, I call him Yako. He is a huge Yankees fan. He actually called me the morning of that game. I hadn't talked to him in about 3 months. By the time we got off the phone, I said, Yak, Yankees are going to win by 3 runs or more. And they ended up closing the game out at 3 runs. But I just knew because it's a powerhouse offense. Even if Strasburg shows up lights out, you also have to come in saying Paxton will show up lights out. So then you have a 0-0 low-scoring game. When it gets into the bullpen, who's winning? Who are you putting your money on if it's a bullpen game? The Nats offense on paper this year? And remember, Soto may be out again, so you might want to lock this in. And remember, on Bet365, you can actually cancel your wagers for most of the time, what I've noticed, and you get your exact value. So if there's something happening and you want to get out, you can get out most of the time. Don't hold me to it. I've noticed most of the time. So who are you putting your money on if it's a tie game going into the bullpen? I don't even know if I want to talk to you if you're going to say the Nats offense. That's just, and I don't even know if I want to maybe network with you, and I mean this in a funny way. If you're unsure about that, that's silly, okay? Because you should be unsure about if someone's going to go 2.5 on a run line or something crazy on a tease that so many people do, and that's great when you hit them. But it's the same type of logic. How sure are you? You have to be sure that the Yankees bats show up against a bullpen if that's where the game goes. So that's why I'm recommending this parlay over many others, because I'm covering the entertainment aspect, the blue-collar aspect. You get plus 149. You get to watch a beautiful gem at 5 o'clock, and you get to have a headliner at night. National probably broadcast, I'm assuming. You can have, all around the country. You could be at your family's barbecue and whatnot, and you got the Yankees bet on, and you can say, hey, I'm still riding in this parlay, or I'm in this thing straight. So yeah, I'll recommend both straight if you want to do it like me, like I talked about earlier. So that's covering our own plays, all right? And I'll try to speed this up a little bit. Now let's get into that first game, Brewers and the Cubbies. Now again, remember, I don't like to select every game, and I'm just going to share this up here, okay? And what I'm going to do is flip over to DraftKings just like last time, so we can have a little bit of a, just like organization on, so you can see clearly what we're trying to do if we build a list here. And it's funny, I joked on that other day when we built that list, like, hey, we can do a parlay on this. It was like plus 1,500, 1,400, and Tampa Bay lost, and that's why you don't do those parlays. If you ever do, you throw a couple bucks on. Don't ever get confident that you're going to hit all the games. I mean, you should be able to, but anything happens. So here's the thing. This first game, Brewers-Cubbies. All right, situation here is Yu Darvish is a beast. After the second half of last year, and we're all going off of what we can go off of, all right? When he came back from that All-Star game last year, he held opponents to 199 batting average, 37.8 strikeout rate, and only 2.2% walking. I don't even remember talking about Darvish like that, but I have a short memory anyway. This dude was on fire after the All-Star break last year. Let's assume he's been in shape, practicing, and hey, Cubbies won yesterday. And like one of my friends I like to talk to, John on Twitter, real good at NFL guy, famous dude out there. He even said, hey, it's like a playoff race with these two teams, and I get it. I really get it. So I'm skipping this game, but you know what? I'm not. Well, let's put this on. I'm taking the Cubbies. I skipped this game yesterday. You know what? In our video we made, we skipped the game when we went 7-1 because we went 11-1 in our work through Ramblin' Gambling Sports Empire. So the only loss was that Tampa Bay. So we either skipped it or we took it. I'm taking the Cubbies today if I had to take one. Right now, remember these are not games I put money on because I like to stick to my 1 or 2 games and just try to get my money where I feel comfortable. If I lose there, I'm happy too. It's just it's over the years I've built a reason to accept what I'm doing. All right, so the Cubbies, plain and simple. I'm just going with Yu Darvish, and you know what the bats can do. Let me just take a quick peek at the chart here. Who are we even facing? That's right, Burns. Seeing if I can find anything quick on Burns here. I'm not seeing anything quick at all, actually. I don't even have much on this dude. So, I mean, look, I'm again, I said I'd do this on the fly because we don't have time this morning. And a lot of the stuff I want to look at came out late. I don't have much info on Burns. Let me see what the MLB.com has. But again, you're going with Cubs bats. You know they exist. But so right off the bat, my angle's Yu Darvish. I just gave you stats that if you ignore that, I don't know what you're doing. Okay. Now I remember why I don't have Burns. The dude just came up from spring and summer camp and all that. So Rizzo's 1-1 this year. Hit that humdingy. I think is that what he did yesterday? Actually, no, sorry. He hit a home run yesterday, not 1-for-1. I just think the bats on Cubs are always there. I don't know the weather. I didn't check that. Make sure you check the weather. I definitely fade games if there's storms and stuff like that. No reason for it. Assuming we don't know much about Burns and his hard contract rate or anything, if there was potential, again, I don't know the weather, if there's potential strong wind gusts coming at Wrigley from outfield in, that's going to help you, Darvish, keep the ball in. So if that's the weather situation, that's your angle. But we're going to take you, Darvish, as the angle for that game. The next game, I know people are going to easily say Boston, and I am too. I would too, but here's what I'm worried about, all right? And I might be the only one talking about this. This doesn't mean that Boston loses. I'm just going to tell you this. If you remember earlier, we talked about, who has the bad ERAs in the Sierras, okay? Third worst of the night, Sierra, is Martin Perez at 5.01. His ERA, 5.12, which is putting him down at about the fifth worst on the slate today. And his hard contact is 35%. Do the Orioles have power? Not really, but some of the Orioles have a little history on this dude, which mean two things. We could have regression, because, for example, Albert Hanser, 6 at-bats on him, Alberto, can't even think straight, Hanser Alberto. 6 at-bats, batting 500, 1 home run. So if he's 6 at-bats, he's 500. He's, you're looking at something like 3 for 6. Can he keep going 3 for 6 in baseball? Even the best players have a hard time doing that. So maybe there's room for regression, maybe not. Maybe he does know how to hit him well. And God forbid you have a rare situation, the Boston bats don't show up. Now, that's a little bit of a joke, okay? So here's the situation. Perez should be letting up hits and he should be letting up runs versus anybody. Will Baltimore bats do it? They shouldn't. Okay? Chris Davis, 143 history on this dude. Jose Iglesias, Cedric Mullins, only seen him twice. Rio Ruiz, only seen him twice. They haven't even got a hit on him. But maybe they go 1 for 3 today on him. I don't know, 1 for 2. Nunez, batting 333, 2 home runs on him. So the two guys that have history on this guy combined have 3 home runs on on Perez. So let's just pretend Perez just has an unlucky outing, throws a couple balls, hits a couple pitchers, loads a couple on base, and one of these dudes just has a good day on him again, and all of a sudden it's a couple runs to nothing in the first. So I'm worried about a little bit of that. I'm probably the only one giving you that angle. But then let's get to the Boston side. Remember in the beginning of the video I mentioned their bats are fire. Fire. Listen, all these guys have history on them. Some of them are decent. Some of them aren't sexy. Benintendi, 21 at-bats, 238. Bogart, 17 at-bats, 235. Okay? You got Lynn, 5 at-bats, bat 400. I haven't checked the start lineup. Shady Martinez, 11 at-bats, 636, 1 home run on him, okay? Jose Peraza, 3 at-bats, 667. Kevin Pillar, 15 at-bats, 333 on him with 1 home run. So, Cobb is terrible. His stats are just bad, okay? So when you look at the ERA, he's the worst ERA on the slate with 10.95. His Sierra is bad. He's the worst on the slate with striking people out, 13.3. And then comes Nova, who we're bashing on with Cincinnati. But remember this, I gave you numbers, some bats were decent. 46% hard contact rate he's given up. Third worst on the slate. So I don't ever recommend prop bets where I recommend team total runs or anything like that. But I know there's a gentleman I respect out there a lot that I had a quick idea. I'm assuming he's definitely going to be betting that. I haven't seen his work yet. I'm assuming it's out or it'll be out soon this morning as well. But I think there's people out there I respect that I want to assume are probably betting the Boston Red Sox team total over. I'm not going to be recommending that here because I never recommend those type of plays, so I'm not going to start doing it here. But I want to hint you that. So if you're a fantasy player, Boston bats should be able to bash, but they may be costly. So, just something to keep an eye on. And to pick, they got to win. Look, if Orioles lose and that's my loss on the slate, I'll eat it up. I'll eat it up. But if you watch my video, you'll know I'll probably call out how it happened. Do you know what I mean? So let's just we're still gonna take them. That's what we're doing. All right. The numbers are just bad. The two worst pitchers of the night you're looking at again. I think you're really looking at Cobb and Nova, and Perez isn't great. His Ks are decent. Walks and ground ball. He ground balls a lot. So there's not... See, that's the other thing. Baltimore doesn't have power in this situation, and he ground balls 48%. He's up there. That's a good rate. So, yeah, I like this Boston as a pick. Boom. We're going to have to do that one, okay? And I'm keeping my list small and sexy today. I can already tell you that right now. Let's go right to the next gate. Minnesota, Chicago. Dude, I like Minnesota. From early when I did my card. I don't remember if we took it yesterday actually on working our game or not. I think we skipped it. But looking at bats at this game, so here's my thing. Keuchel, if he shows up, he can be an animal. You know that. There's not much to talk about. He can get a lot of ground balls going. He's got a let me see here. Again, like I said, I gotta do this on the fly. Yeah, he's the highest rated ground ball pitcher tonight. 60.1%. So if you're working the angle with Keuchel, you're thinking that he's going to be able to pitch the Twins down to getting balls in the ground. And if you look at this, Jose Abreu's 2-0 on him. I mean, so you could see maybe regression, or he's going to eat him up for the rest of his career. I don't know. Adam Engel's batting 500 twice. Luis Garcia, he's got power at times. Only seen him twice, never hit. Jimenez never hit once. McCann seen him once, never hit. And then Yohan Moncada seen him twice, batting 500. None of these guys have home runs on Keuchel, and most of the other bats never actually saw him. Tim Anderson and all that. Edwins never saw him. So I'm skipping the game. On the Minnesota side, I do see Nelson Cruz. I'll tell you what, add Nelson Cruz for a home run potential. He's seen him 35 times with 4 home runs. Batting 257. So Nelson Cruz for potential home run candidate. I had him for a home run candidate yesterday, and I didn't go double check if he hit one. So if you saw my a tweet early in the morning yesterday, I had 3 people listed that may hit a home run. Lindor, early in the morning, the first 3. Lindor, if McCann played, which I don't think he even played, and Nelson Cruz. But let's see here on the Minnesota bats here. Nelson Cruz, liking Nelson Cruz. Josh Donaldson, 1 for 3 on this dude. Mitch Garver batting 400 with 5 at bats. Nothing intriguing here, but it's looking equal batting wise, except advantage to Minnesota today. But there's not much history on Chicago, so it's not enough for me to go lean on it. And I don't think I'm picking this game just on Keuchel and his ground balls. Just not doing that. He's not sticking out he's not sticking out to me with strikeouts. He's not. Yeah, I'm skipping this game. We're just gonna keep going through. Pirates, Cardinals, dude. Off the bat, what do the Pirates have on offense, man? I don't know what the heck they have. But let's dig into this quick. Adam Wainwright. Again, I hate doing this on the fly, but I got to get this out for you. Adam Wainwright's given a lot of hard contact. That's something to note. Oh, boy, his Sierra's no good. No good. 4.7, basically making him 3, 4, 5, like the 6th worst of the night on the Sierra. ERA, 4.19. Not too many Ks. He's in the middle to the bottom of the pack for strikeouts today versus what you got on the slate. Now, when you look at it like that, you're talking more fantasy. God, not that many ground balls. He's not throwing that many strikes. Man. Let's see. And then, but Pittsburgh, let's see here. Man, this is a tough one. So what do we got on the bats here? what I mean by tough one is I'm not sure if I'm loving Wainwright so much here, but let's see the bats here. So again, we're talking about this Pittsburgh-Seattle game. So the Pittsburgh bats against Wainwright. Oh boy, okay. Josh Bell, 20 at bats, 1 home run, batting 300. Now, the one thing I don't like about what I don't have ready is I don't have some of my batting statistics ready. The WOBAs and the head-to-head batter to handed pitcher or batter specific to the style of pitching. We're getting that batter to the pitcher, like I'm showing you that Bell is batting 300 against Wainwright. But I don't have my data ready for some of those deep diving analytics. But I'm going to admit, I don't think with the games we picked so far, I need to deep dive in those analytics, but we're going to keep that on mind, okay? Now, if you notice some of my tweets during the week, I've been putting some of that out there. I said, hey, Moustakas might do this. Bam, he hit a home run. Hey, blah, blah, blah may do this. And Luke Blow, he did well. So some of these guys, I'm looking at those analytics, okay? So I don't have that in front of me. So, again, I apologize for it, and that's why I warned you at the beginning. Colin Moran, if he's playing, he's 14 at-bats, batting 357, 1 home run. Adam Frazier, 2 home runs, 273, 22 at-bats. But look, the other side's just as strong historically. Matt Carpenter, 348, 23 at-bats, 3 home runs. Paul DeJong, 353, 17 at-bats, 1 home run. What a Paul DeJong dong last night. And I know y'all got happy on that home run. I think some of y'all started covering your run lines on that, baby. Dexter Fowler, 16 at-bats, 375. Woo! Paul Goldschmidt, 13 at-bats, 385. Molina, 261, 23 at-bats. Let me tell you something, dude. If you looked into Yadier Molina, he's in the best shape of his life right now. And look at his age. Amazing. That's who I want to be when I grow up. I'm probably already older than him. I don't even know. But Matt Waiters, 5 at-bats, 400, 1 home run. Colton the Wong, 462, 13 at-bats. Guys, we might have some fun in this game. Are we supposed to bet the over here? Where's Trevor Williams on our numbers real quick? Is he striking people out? Hold on, hang with me. Oh, boy. Trevor Williams, ERA, SRA, CRA. Yeah, no good. Oh, man, is this game going over, gents? Are we getting an over on this game? I don't ever recommend over-unders. I just don't do that. That's not my style. I like the bats on both sides here. Oh, boy, we got to do this on the fly. Hold on. Where's the opposite side? Where's Williams here? All right. So St. Louis isn't striking out much. But listen, his Sierra in the air is terrible, Trevor Williams. And you saw the history I'm showing. And the bat history I'm talking about is right on MLB.com. I don't have the analytics that I'm going to share, but stick with me through the year. We're going to pump them out. If I do get some as the day goes on, follow me on Twitter. I will. Obviously, I know what I've talked about in the video, so if analytics come out that I find, I'll pump them out. But, dude, I think the fact that there's history and St. Louis can bash overwrites the fact that they can strike out against this dude. I like it. Man, I'm going to get bold, guys. I never do over-unders. I'm doing over 9. Over 9. We're going to do it. We're going to pick it right here. First time ever over-under official. Wow. All right, let's go. Moving right on before I change my mind on that. So next game, Toronto, Tampa Bay. Man, I'll tell you what, I had it wrong yesterday. I thought Tampa Bay's bats would really do a lot more. They started fighting to come back, so at least that gave me a little hope. My buddy Matt, who I tag a lot, a real good friend of mine, been betting with him 2 years. He knows. He probably would call me and say, "Dude, why'd you have to pick in that game? That's a game that I know the TekMuNNee I know would have skipped." So I'm gonna just put that note in there from yesterday. But let's take a look at what we got. Right, we got the Tampa Bay bats haven't seen Schumacher. All right, we got Kevin Kiermaier, 6 at bats, 167. Daniel Robertson, if he plays. 2 bats, no hits. Kevon Smith, if he plays, 5 at bats, 200 average. Zunino, 13 at bats, batting 154. No one else has seen him. The Toronto bats, you're looking at Bo, 3 at bats, 667. Could that be regression time? We don't know where he owns him for the rest of the career, right? So again, talking about Toronto bats. Randall Grichuk is always trying to bat above 300 there, 13 at bats. Some of these other guys, I mean, geez, Vlad's seen him 6 times. Gurriel's seen him 7 times. Danny Jensen, if he plays, 6 times, no hits. Reese 1, no hits. If Billy McKee, no hits. If Joe Panic plays, no hits. Rowdy Tellez, if he plays 5 at bats, 600 average, is that regression or is that really ownership on Yarborough? Let's see. Yarborough did keep, I remember towards the end of the year, he was holding people down. So let's see here. How's his ERA looking? Real quick. Man, where's my buddy here? I don't see him on my chart. Why don't I have him up here? I got him. I found him. He's middle of the pack. 4.13 tonight. Middle of the pack tonight. He's average on everything. The only thing decent he has is actually, wow, he doesn't walk people. Second lowest walk rate of the night. 3.6%. Very interesting. And that's interesting. I didn't notice this, but Alex Cobb against Boston is the #1 lowest walk. He doesn't walk anyone, but you got a Boston bat that bashes on his hard contact, so you're still taking Boston. All right, so Yarborough's average. I think I gotta skip this game. I don't want to. Remember, if you know me, less is more. Less is always more. Skipping a game. All right, next game, Miami and Philly. And remember, you can laugh at me and say, man, this guy's not breaking stuff down. I told you I'm going to get deeper, and we're going to dive in deeper as I get the year on and I get the data I need and I formulate some of these charts I want, okay? I'm going to always try to do a brief overview, and we're 30 minutes in, but this is how I got to do it, man. What you can do is if you're going to catch the beginning of the video of what I'm going to play, and then maybe by the end of the video, you can skip through and you can see this list. But don't get mad if you lose something on there, because I want you to hear the breakdown, overview, basic breakdown while I'm taking it. So listen, one of the things, actually, that I missed going over, let me just check this piece of cheat sheet I had, all right? Because we covered 3 or 4 games now, and I forgot to look at this cheat sheet that I had. But I'm scrolling through now. Just to make sure that on my cheat sheet, dude, on the cheat sheet, Darvish, fantasy-wise, you take Darvish, and if fantasy-wise he shows up, boom, you're good to go. All right, so yeah, so far I think we covered this on my cheat sheet I got here. I don't want to. Yep. Okay. Cool. Sorry about that. All right. So back to the Phillies. Now, why I remembered about the cheat sheet, because on my cheat sheet, Wheeler shows up. A lot of you people are definitely liking Wheeler in the spot. And I get it. And oh my God, what happened last night? And did you see I faded that game? Look, I live in South Jersey, I'm 20 to 25 minute drive from the stadium, but I'm in South Jersey in the boonies. I'm actually in town, even though everything's 25 minutes. A lot of people never heard of. And I'm in the farms. And listen, I have a whole different perspective when I look at Philadelphia teams. So I knew I needed to fade that. You can just say you got lucky, and that's fine. I knew I needed to fade that. I'm actually, I just want to say this with this game. I know you guys are thinking Wheeler can show up. I just want to mention this, though. On the cheat sheet, let's see here. When you look at advanced stats, and again, this is some of the stuff I didn't get to put together, Wheeler's not as sexy as one may think. Now, again, maybe you can start turning it around and things like that, but let me mention this on top of that note. Jesus Aguilar, 4 at-bats, 500, 1 home run, okay? Brian Anderson, 18 at-bats, 167, so that's trash. John Birdie, no, again, these guys play. 9 at-bats, 222. But Cervelli, 6 at-bats, batting 833. Garrett Cooper, 3 at-bats, 667. Corey Dickerson, 7 at-bats, 286. Harold Ramirez, 4 at-bats, 250. Sean Rodriguez, 2 at-bats, 500. Miguel Rojas, 2 home runs on him. 17 at-bats, batting 235. What that tells me is he's trying to hit home runs on that no matter what. Jonathan VR, 8 at-bats, 250. Chad Wallach, 2 at-bats, 500. All right, now if these guys play those numbers, that's not bad. That doesn't look lights out to me to the perspective of how everybody's looking at the angle coming into the game. Is Wheeler supposed to pitch and win the game? Yeah, he should be. But it's not like lights out like everybody's talking, expecting him to do. That's what worries me. When I look at this cheat sheet, he did down the stretch. Down the stretch, Wheeler was hot. Now, that's why we took Yu Darvish, 2.83 ERA in the second half of the season. Okay? But he only let people down to 20% strikeout, 4.3% xFIP. So, yeah, his ERA was low, but was it defense kind of helping him out? Because the strikeouts weren't there, and as you can see, some of these bats can hit. So, minus 182 Phillies, I think that's priced in. I think because they got crushed last night, people are just going to put money on the Phillies. Me, doing what I do. Doing what I do best, fading the hometown team. I'm fading. The Phillies bats, did I talk about that? No. In case these guys play. Kyle Garlick, 2 at-bats, 1 home run, 500. All right? Gosselin, no hits, 2 at-bats. Didi, 1 at-bat, 0 hits. Bryce Harper, 6 at-bats, no hits. Adam Hastley, 2 at-bats, 2 for 2. Rhys Hoskins, 0 for 7 at-bats. Scott Kingery, 0 for 1 at-bats. Again, you guys check these players playing. McCutchen, though, add him to a potential home run or a batting prop, maybe. 10 at-bats, 400, average, 1 home run. So I'm going to write this down. McCutchen home run, and who did we have earlier in the day that we can do potential home run on? I forgot. I think that was in the first game or second game we talked about. So anyways, that was in the video. And then you got Real Muto 0 for 5, Juan Segura 0 for 5. So on paper, just basic paper that you can look up, not too sexy for me. Not just gonna going. I at 182, I'm paying 210. I'm paying $30 more and taking my Reds instead. To me, that's more of a lock. And you know what I'm saying? When you compare it, apples and oranges to both games, or not apples. When you put both games up and you're comparing them, all right. Skipping. Rockies and Rangers. Let's see here. Just wanna. Mike Minor should be able. He's decent, man. So again, remember I called the Rangers game correct last night to the point where I selected them to win. My homework was on only the fact that if Lance Lynn does his job, he'll keep the Rockies low. He shut them out. The part I was wrong was, and it was a long shot, and it was more fun that I thought there'd be more. If so, I mean, I didn't expect a 1-0 win. Obviously, I'm expecting somehow the bats were going to show up at some point, and I expect this. If you remember in the video, Sin Chu and Joey Gallo to show up, and I guess they did it in 1 run. So whatever. That's what happened there. I'm looking real quick here. Man, this video's turned into much longer than I wanted it to be. But Mike Minor Sierra stinks, man. 4.51. There's just much worse pitchers today, though. That's the funny thing. His hard contact's red in my box, but he does well with Ks. He's good with strikeouts. It's just his Sierra's decent, not well. But his overall ERA from what the chat 3.59. Look at this little cheat sheet thing. Like on the fantasy, you know, he's in the mid range. Let's see. You know what? His splits are average because now on the or Aaron, if they're playing Arenado and Trevor Story right-handed bats, right? So have these guys played? Arenado's 0 for 2 on him. Story's 0 for 4 on him, which makes sense because Miners held lefties to 298 WOBA and righties to a 301. Those are sexy numbers from what I'm reading here. So swinging strike route rate 11.5. Let's see here. Basically, he's coming off one of his best years from what I'm reading on one of those things I like to read. See? So, this reminds me of yesterday. I'm going to look at the bats now. Sin Chu. So, Robinson Chirinos. So these guys play 0 for 2. Sin Chu batting 3 times, 333. Todd Frazier 2 for 2 on him. Nobody's hit home runs on on Gray, though. John Gray's pitching. Boy. John Gray, let's see. We'll dig into that. There isn't sexy numbers on this. So, again, Joey Gallo, 0 for 2. Ronald Guzman, 0 for 1 on him. We got, let's see, Mathis, 500, but 2 at-bats. Danny Santana, 3 at-bats, 333. Bats on Colorado, not looking good here on this historically. Arenado, 0 for 2. Blackman, 0 for 4. Kemp, 0 for 3. Story, 0 for 4. So, oh my. Mike Minor's basically pitched lights out to the power bats on the Rockies without my advanced analytics stuff, that the little bit I have. He's coming off his best year. We have to play this year with the momentum we have. So I can't give. We're picking. We are going to take the Rangers again to go 2-0 on the Rangers. I like it. We got it right yesterday. We're gonna go for it again. And like an idiot, we got to switch the screen to singles. We're not doing a parlay. We're picking through the screen on the singles here. So I apologize for that. Did it still show you the number? Yeah, it did. All right, great. All right, so Rangers. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. All right, Minor. We're getting some good games here, man. Let's see. Real quick, 1 second. So we're looking at Max Fried. We're Steven Matz. Kind of scrolling up on my cheat sheet here. Let's see here. So Max Fried, on the fantasy middle tier pricing. That's what I was looking at. Just want to see where the pricing was. So let's see. On your CRA, just looking through. Let's see. There's a lot of names on the data today, All right, middle of the pack on the ERA, CRA. ERA 4.02. Hard contacts, bad. But, wow, ground ball, 53%. So third best. His Ks, walks, single strikes are decent. But in this situation, Atlanta, so I'm looking at Fried. The Mets aren't striking out that much. But let's see here. The Mets on this dude here. Pete Alonso. 1 home run, 10 at-bats, 100, though. Jeez, I guess he must be trying to go for it. Not that sexy, but does have a humdingy. Robinson Cano, 4 at-bats, batting 500. Conforto, 13 at-bats, 0.77. Jeez, I guess that's no good. J.D. Davis, 11 at-bats, 364. Jeff McNeil, 11 at-bats, 455. Guillermo batting 502 at bats. I'm only seeing one dude's hit a home run on Fried. That's Pete Alonso, and he's batting 10 at bats at 100. Rosario 15 at bats 333. Ramos 8 at bats 375. Jeff McNeil though 11 at bats 455. So nothing sexy, but there's hits on there. You see the batting average. We're talking at there's definitely men getting on plate, and they got hard contact. And now you got Steven Matz here. Let's see how he's looking. Now, Steven Matz, you see something here. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm starting to already lose interest into into digging into some of these because we already got 4 picks in here that I like, and I'm digging through. I'm not saying I'm giving up on y'all. All right, so I was looking in my cheat sheet. So there is something that we can take advantage of. The Braves do have power on them now. Let's get to the Braves bats. Okuno, 12 at bats, batting 250. Albies, 18, 167, no good. Camargo, though, 1 home run, 9 at bats, 333. Duvall, if he's playing, 7 at bats, 429. Culberson, 333 on 6. Freddie Freeman, 1 home run, 30 at bats, 267. So a familiar face. If you can get men on, you got men on, and he's gonna get up there in that spot where he bats. There could be some damage done, right? Bats has a bad day. You never know. So here's my take. I'm gonna skip the game. I'm skipping the game. I don't want to pick a game where, again, I'm somehow a weird Braves fan at times. So that's why I picked Braves yesterday in my mindset with Soroka. I think in the video we didn't even take him because, again, the only loss we had was the Tampa Bay. So we're gonna skip that game. Though keep an eye on Atlanta bats. Keep an eye on Atlanta bats. If they're supposed to collect their paycheck, they should get the job done. All right, so we're getting down to the Angels Athletics. What a finish last night. So many of you guys made money at the end of the night. I'm so happy for you. Would have hated to see you going to bed with that. You don't want to go to bed with a loss like that. That's just not. Listen, we take losses. You don't want to go to bed. You don't want to go to bed with a loss. So, McNabb. Remember, Trout. Trout's got some history on him. My buddy, I got to follow my buddy Darren. If you're following me deep in the video, shout out to Darren. Mentioned that. I think he's one of the only batters that's sexy. But McNabb, you just never know what to expect. I don't know what to expect. That's what I'm reading with somebody I respect. But he does have 27.5 strikeout rate. So it's not sexiest of the slate, but it almost is. You got up in the 28, 29s, and you're right up with Castillo and Paxton. All right. So I like McNabb's situation here. Remember why I skipped the game? I'm actually a fan of both teams in weird ways and weird generations. Trout lives around the area in South Jersey. Always supported him. So I like my buddy Darren recommending, Trout, maybe you hit a home run. So add McCutchen, Trout, and I forgot who the first gentleman we spoke of in the beginning of the video that may be a home run. I wish I could remember him. But keep those on there. I'm going to skip this game. Kind of going through my cheat sheets. I don't even want to try to, let's see, hard contact. See, look, McNabb is up 47.1 hard contact. Second worst of the evening. But ERA is so sexy. The best. On tonight's slate, he's got the best ERA, 1.21. Okay? Followed by Schumacher on Toronto, which is who we skipped. Okay? Followed by Clevenger in third, Clevenger in fourth. But we'll get to those games. So listen. If McNabb collects his check, if it goes as planned, that should be the angle. Let me pull up some of these head-to-heads over here. Wow. Chris Davis, my man. Crush has had such a hard time since he signed that bajillion-dollar contract. Was it last year? I swear I watched that video and then I just seen him park off. He's one of my favorite players, though. He hasn't been performing. Listen to this. 3 home runs, 13 at-bats. And batting .462. So I'm going to add Chris Davis to that home run list with McCutchen and Trout. And man, I wish I could remember the first person in the video. I'll go back and look and we'll figure that out. He sticks out. Chapman, no good. 7 at-bats, batting .143. Are we going to see not upgression, that's funny, but are we going to see that upside? Probably not. Tony Kemp, 4 at-bats, 500. Laureano, 5 at-bats, 200. Just basic info. Matt Olson, 1 home run, 9 at-bats, 333. Chad Pinder 0 for 7. Piscotty, basically 1 at-bat on 6. Marcus Semien, 400 on 10 at-bats. Let's see, Angels batters on McNabb. I'd call him McNabb, man. I don't even care. So some of them don't have history. Others have 0 for 2. Pujols is batting 56, 0.56, 18 at-bats. He's getting old, man. I don't know. Simmons, 20 at-bats, 200. Stassi, if he's playing, 0 for 4. Trout's the only dude, man. 17 at-bats, 3 home runs, 412. So, actually, Chris Davis is sexier than Trout for a home run. My man Darren, if you're listening, Chris Davis has slightly better numbers on Trout than home run. And then Upton he's 9 at-bats and 222. So, guys, what do we do? Do we take a game or do we skip? Do we take a game or do we skip? Man, my gosh. I'm going to have to, I have to lean. You know what? We're here. We're in the business of picking games. I faded this for you got to lean with the Athletics here. I'm going to fade, though. I'm going to fade. Because on paper, I'm looking at more of Chris Davis versus Trout and the fact that Manana has to show up and be lights out. And in what I said at the very beginning, I don't know what we're going to get from him. So I don't do leans. If you're betting the Athletics tonight, I totally support you. I'm trying to give a good, clean record. I'm going to fade it, but I do think it's the Athletics. The next game is Cincy, Detroit. That's already the official play. We're taking Cincy, so we're not going to add that here. The next game, here's where it gets sexy. We don't know much about Singer. So you have to assume in the batter's park, Cleveland Indian bats, I'm not even going to go talk about them. They're going to have to bash there in the batter's park. And you're getting one of the better matchups, again, behind Darvish. So your ERA, your best ERA, Clevenger's got the 4th best ERA tonight at 2.71. All right? But he's the best strikeout pitcher tonight. 33.9. All right? 33.9 on the strikeouts. Now, again, I didn't get time to dig into the analytics like I want. Is KC against Darvish, or sorry, against Clevenger? Is there history there? So hold on, let's just take a quick peek at that. So looks like KC, you got Alex Gordon's 30 at-bats, 300, 1 home run. Nicky Lopez, 5 at-bats, 200. Whit Merrifield, 35 at-bats, 257. Mondesi, 0-11. Perez, if he's playing today, 19 at-bats, 211. He's the only one with a home run. Gordon has a home run. The only two players with home runs on Clevenger is that. And then, let's see, Brett Phillips 0 for 4. Jose Soler, 16 at 5 at-bats. So he's probably like 8 and 6. Not bad there. Jorge Soler. And Bubba Starling, man. Always gotta love a name like that. 3 at-bats, 333. And then Valerio, if he's playing, 3 at-bats, 667. Not sure if you're getting regression there. And then again, Cleveland bats haven't seen KC. So, dude, I'm not even going to dig into the data too much. Clevenger, man. I think for a lot of fantasy even, he's priced up there. Looking through my notes here, guys. Wait a second. Hold on. We got to back up. Dylan Bundy's pitching for the Angels. He's a gas can. So we are officially making the Athletics a pick. Man, I wish I just didn't do that. The Athletics are going to be a pick. Holy schmoly. You have to take the Athletics' power against Dylan Bundy and what we spoke about. So I'm going to go bold and break my rule. I'm breaking 2 rules today. I'm doing an over-under, and I'm betting against bias. Remember my rules. I don't bet against passion and biasness. So this is what I'm doing. Woo! Oh boy. All right. We're adding Cleveland because we got to get the video going. All right. We know about the Yankees already. That's in our official play. All right. So that right there, Paxton. You're going to now assume that Strasburg throws a shutout, and so does Paxton. You can't talk to me and say that you can't just expect that. Now, I didn't even dig into. Let me see if we got numbers on Paxton. You know, I'll be honest with you. On the chart I had that I'm looking at, I don't have Paxton added because I didn't get. I was up till 5 in the morning and I couldn't sleep, and I didn't have some of my data ready. I woke up, attended to my daughter, got freshened up, and here I am on the video, and it's already an hour video. So I'm gonna have to keep this one basic. You can hate me or not for it. We are betting on Yankees offense, period. Okay, at a pick'em. You just have to do that. So let's go to the final game, which is the Diamondbacks Padres. Look, I'm really proud of the way I called that because the night before I called the Dodgers would win by bashing on Cueto, and Cueto held it down on analytics. Same analytics type of angle. We said we'd bash up on Bumgarner. We didn't really bash up on them, but they got the lead up on there. So that was sexy. Padres won. I was proud of that. I got to be able to pick that pick from, years of learning and doing homework. So Robbie Ray, what do we got with Robbie Ray? Padres strike out the most, second best, I think it looks like, on the slate. All right. But Robbie Ray is giving up, like the 4th most hard contact. And Arizona may have a couple bats. What's the history with Arizona and Robbie Ray? So off the top, I got Jake Lamb, he's batting 750, 4 at-bats, 1 home run. Escobar, John Jay, Kelly Carson, couple at-bats, no hits. Kettle Marte, 3 at-bats, 333. David Peralta, 1 home run, 4 at-bats. Sorry, that's the Arizona bats I'm talking at, Lamet. I was supposed to flip at the Arizona bats versus Ray, which off the top, let's see. Ty France batting, if these guys play, 1 home run. Keep an eye on that. 5 at-bats. Hedges is terrible on this dude, man. 18 at-bats, 56. All right, Eric Hosmer. Machado, 2 home runs each. Eric Hosmer, 15 at-bats, 200 on him. Machado, 9 at-bats, 333, 2 home runs on him. Let's add him to a potential home run list here without looking at much more analytics. Like, remember, I like to look at analytics that I haven't spoken about here. But we're going to add Machado to this list for home runs. Wow. Just to keep an eye on for fun. I'm not saying go bet him at all. Nope. Tommy Pham, we talked about him yesterday. Yesterday he was batting .417 against Bob on that type of pitching setup. Today, look, 10 at bats, batting .500. Tommy Pham. So I'm fading this game, I think. I already gave you enough, so we're gonna fade it. So that's where we are, ladies and gents. We're definitely official play to end it. Remember, is what we're doing. We're doing the Reds single or the Yankees. And look at that line. The line's moving. I'm sorry. I should have had this video out. When we did the video, it was 2:30. But hey, and then I'm doing the Reds straight. Then I'm doing the Yankees straight. So the official play is Reds if you want to follow me. The second official play, which will cater to people that like parlays or people that want to play with a smaller account or people that like just playing parlays, is going to be the Reds and the Yankees at about plus 146, plus 40, 149. Shop around, but highly recommend Bet365. And here's your singles for tonight. Cubs, Red Sox, over in the Pirates, Cardinals. First time I'm doing that. First time ever. I'm selecting over-under. Rangers, Athletics. First time I'm picking against my biasness in the passion game. The Indians. And remember what I mentioned. A lot of people I respect and I vouch it. I don't ever bet the cute props like that. But the Boston Red Sox should be able to bash. I bet you're going to see some over Boston Red Sox team total bets. It's Tech Money, rambling and gambling. We're going to be in the money. Let's seriously try to just go 7-0 or whatever we got going here, guys. 8-0. We can do this. Let's go. We were 11-1 already. 4-0 and official. So let's go. Tech Money. Stay green. Good luck. I'm going to be putting content out, supporting all this through the videos on Twitter, so stay with me. Again, the picks are in the beginning that I'm playing, and the analysis is through the video. Jump to the end for the list. But if you're just going to play them and not do the analysis, I think you're missing out. All right, good luck.